All right, fellow speedrunners and fans of speedrunning, welcome to the last match of the evening. And doesn't need any introduction. It is, of course, Cheese and Punkay facing off yet again, this time in the 70-star Division 1 League. And today, I am with none other than JKJ on co-commentary, and I have just one question for you. And do you know what that question is?
Ask me. Fire away.
Are you ready?
I could not be more ready. This is going to be
It's
an
good.
extremely exciting race. I always love watching these guys match up. Obviously, they're two titans of the game, and especially considering that both of them have been streaming 70 star. I mean, Puncayshun's been grinding for world record, and Cheese has also. I mean, Cheese hasn't been. I wouldn't say he's been on a particularly crazy grind, but I've definitely seen him live very recently with some pretty good runs going at 70 star. So these guys are definitely in shape for this race, in my estimation, which is gonna make for a pretty exciting one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And to build on that, the state Cheese was in when this league first kicked off was probably not the best he's ever been. Still struggling with some hand problems, a bit of just like motivation, health issues, all these things that one, he wasn't streaming a whole lot, and two, wasn't playing his best Mario, so to speak. And
No,
Punkay has been playing the absolute best Mario we've ever seen for the last like 2 to 3 months, and it's absolutely bonkers. He is far and away number one in the league. Cheese has been playing pretty well too. He's number 4, and pretty close to Toast Rider. D whatever's number 2. So Cheese could definitely get farther up the league with this, but this could potentially be Punkay's first loss, or if not, he'll be undefeated and having beaten both Cheese and D whatever, who I would say are his biggest contenders in the league. So Punkay could actually look to sweep the entire season if he can take this win tonight.
which would be, I mean, an amazing feat, especially with, I mean, the players you've already listed. But in addition, just taking matches over those two players. I mean, specifically D whatever and Toast Rider, and also, I mean, adding a cheese win on top of that is no small task, but would really build out that resume and secure him a, let's just say, comfortable spot in this league.
I'm sure that honestly, if he wins today, he's guaranteed to make playoffs no matter what happens, because he is at unbelievable, and I must stress unbelievable, 329 points. And I believe he's played 6 matches, and you can win up to 59 or 60 points in each match, which depends on the time differential. And if you're not familiar, I wouldn't blame you, but I'm going to go through it really quickly. If you lose, you can get consolation points based off of how close you were to your opponent. If you win, you get an extra 10 points for every 10 seconds you win by, up to 20. So Punkay has only lost 30 points in 6 games, which means he's won by about an average of 2 minutes every time, and obviously has not lost. So he's absolutely killing it right now.
Yeah, that's a dominant stretch of races.
Yeah, Cheese has a mountain to climb here, but I'm so excited that this match is happening now and not right at the beginning of the season where Cheese was kind of off his game. The last couple of days, he's been back into it, and I think we can finally say that Cheese is back into his world-class form. He had a fantastic run, world record pace into TTM, sadly died, but just the fact that he can get these runs now shows that he's not going to be a pushover for Punkay.
No, absolutely.
No matter how good he's playing.
You absolutely want to see everyone in their best form possible for a race. So it's definitely refreshing. Been, as you said, it's been a while. It's been a bit since we've been able to watch some incredibly high level live cheese gameplay, which is always a treat. So really an exciting one here, and we're about to get right into it.
Yeah, we're going to see probably the same optimal route, barring Island Hop, going to be CCM 17, double plus both ways, and Cheese has recently added Tomoples to his arsenal. Not sure if he'll go for it in the race, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I think this is one situation where Punkay has kind of had the edge over Cheese strat-wise, which is kind of weird to say, but Cheese kind of finally getting around to match him there in SSL, which is just one of the pivotal stages. I would say SSL, Fire C, and TikTok Clock are the 3 stages you want to look out for in this race.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, to that point, if the stream was watching some of the practice...
Oh my god, he's starting with bomb clip, barely getting into the left corner of the cage. Puncay taking a very short lead.
But yeah, as prior to the race's start, puncayshun was actually practicing Tomoples for a while, and it seemed like it wasn't going as well as he would hope. So it's going to be definitely a clincher when we get to SSL, as we see they're perfectly synced up, which is always a beautiful thing.
Yeah, Puncay said that even though he's good at Tomoples, he doesn't really like doing it in races. But so far he's kind of lucked out, hasn't really messed it up at all. But he also says that he's willing to adapt and take the HMC early's LLL 29 kind of route instead if he just can't get that second plus going, which is a smart decision because you really could be there all day trying to do Tomoples.
Absolutely, yeah. Pillarless is it's so knacky that as Cheese pulls ahead with a 12-6 to Puncay's 12-7, and you can see the sync just slightly gone now in Cheese's favor. Which is just, I mean, a marginal edge, but that's the kind of edges we're going to be working with, at least earlier in this run, barring any major mistakes.
Yeah, definitely get your brand new sync emote out in the chat. Maybe not justified quite yet, but I can only hope that these runners will stay neck and neck throughout the early game. So Puncay and Cheese, starting with Cannonless or Owless and Canless respectively, both getting a first try. This is very important, obviously about an 8-second time loss for either, and this will be a good foot in the door here.
Yeah, and that star, they actually were pretty synced up after that star, even though they did different ones, because we were looking at Cheese doing the full setup for Cannonless, which of course loses a few seconds to texture setup, which causes it to be about the same speed as a successful Owless. And again, both synced up.
Puncay getting that texture setup to save a quick little bit of time, whereas Owless is ordinarily faster than the ledge grab setup Cannonless. But now we're up to 100 coin, where Puncay has said he much prefers going for the safer 100 coin route, where Cheese is going to go for the line of 5. So this can save up to 2 seconds. Puncay has a bit of an easier time going ahead of him, but Cheese could possibly take the lead here, but it takes really good movement. Missing 1 coin, not the end of the world, but he has to be careful. Alright, Puncay coming up here, nailing that side flip wall kick.
It's really going to come down to whether we see Cheese actually make this cycle, but it looks like he's going to make it with no issue. Beautiful.
So that's possibly not quite 2, but very close to that, saved. But this ending, wow, Cheese with a speed punch rather than a kick, a bit comical to see, but also actually not that slow. I was surprised he actually kept some speed with that. Puncay didn't even need to go back for that coin. He's actually going to take the lead. With that alone, Puncay sliding off of the thwomp. He's got to turn around.
Don't get squished.
Don't want to get crushed. All right, so Cheese off to a minor, but definitely noticeable lead. Maybe coming up on 8 to even 10 seconds due to 100 coin.
Yeah, I mean, it was... Puncay would have already been behind just based on the strats alone. So definitely it hurts going back for that coin that he didn't quite need, and then that spiraling into, losing a few precious seconds. Although, Cheese follows it up by a little bit of a shaky start to his Wild Blue, so has to eat a few seconds of loss. Can't get his side flip grab on the tree. And Puncay reclaiming a little time immediately with a very crisp Wild Blue opening, at least. Let's see if he completes it. Yep, no bounce on the slide kick. Very clean, and we're back within a few seconds.
Yeah, there's still about like 5, 7, at least 7 actually for Cheese. Actually, Cheese also messing up on the tree here. Just small things that Puncay can save a few frames on. Up to the Womp King, which is typically a very consistent star. These last 2, you don't really expect to see lead change. Although Fortress, you can see a little bit of sauce flying around, but not usually getting out of hand.
Yeah, it would take some
also
surprising mistakes for either of these next 2 stars to really build or destroy the lead for either of these players. So we're looking at a 6'11 fade out for Cheese on that star compared to a 6'17. So just about
This
six.
would be a 4x for both.
Hmm.
Like a 641 for Cheese, 646, 647 for Punkay.
See if they could.
Fortress.
Yeah, let's see if they can clean this up and take some pretty solid Womps times, especially in a race. Yep, Cheese cleans it up. Punkay right behind him.
That'll be a 642. Punkay not so far behind, so even though he lost up to 10 seconds in that 100 coin, that was the only mistake he made. Everything else has been pretty much perfect.
Reclaimed a little time in that wild blue.
640 is very good, especially for a race.
Yeah. Still separated by about a 7-second deficit. Cheese
Any
going into the slide.
I think I'm going to see a 12-5 out of Cheese and 12-6 for Punkay.
Bold predictions. I'll second the 12-6 for Punkay. Okay,
Nice
Cheese.
12-6 for Cheese.
Very consistent 12-6. I mean, that's 2 in a row. Saved him a little time over Punkay before.
That's nice.
Saves him.
12-7 though.
Saves him exact. Yeah.
The first time.
You can see the consistency from both of these guys, though. Cheese was able to bust out the slight save both times. All right, going into wing cap, bit of a scary star. I mean, missing a red, it not only wastes some time, but it also you lose so much speed that the time just compounds, and it can be hard to manipulate the camera and pull back around. Both of them.
He's a very fancy flyer, definitely well versed in the wing cap star, and also known for his general flying abilities. Punkay doing pretty well on those arcs as well, not taking too much extra space with these turns. I thought he was going to go for the switch rollout, but losing a little bit of time to the ending.
Seemed like he pulled up at the end. Realized he wasn't quite confident in that, and said, "I'll eat the small time loss and just make sure that I can skip the text."
Yeah, once again, a difference in philosophy where Cheese maybe not even the most strat heavy runner in the league, but still will go for the things he thinks are the fastest for him. Whereas Punkay, he's made conscious decisions about what to do to be more consistent in a race, such as going for the slightly safer Womps 100. Which is why he's been doing really well in these races, because he's just been avoiding most typical mistakes and getting low 40. It's like every other run.
Like definitely a player who feels like if he avoids massive pitfalls, his gets shocked by the amp. His base level of play is very very high, so he feels like he can just rely on that consistency. And although it looked like that was, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit slower than Shik.
Yeah, he ended up getting normal cycle with a pretty high double jump kick. Can also be a little bit scary because you are just suspended in the air above these moving platforms, which if you miss time your inputs can kill you. Both actually getting double firsties, which is really nice. Definitely from the 16 stars perspective, a bit more impactful, but definitely saves time no matter what category you're doing.
And the kind of strat that you'd expect from both of these guys. Yeah. It's just a mark of confidence, consistency, experience. So, Cheese saving a little bit more time. Looking like he probably saved, built his lead somewhat significantly. Probably looking at around a 10-second lead now. I think around exactly 10 or 11 seconds, so.
Yeah, taking about 4 seconds in Dark World, and then maybe just another second or two in the wing cap and, other miscellaneous differences. Coming up for Skyjump now. This is another situation where Cheese can really show off that clean flying, but Punkay can save some time here. Cheese actually brushing up against the island.
Is that ground pound? Ooh, that ground pound was not going to connect, yeah. Looked very low.
I think Punkay might have some really good flying here. He definitely knows how to control this arc, and that's going to be a little bit better than Cheese for sure.
Crisp from Punkay, reclaiming, picking up what Cheese is putting down, reclaiming the seconds as they're given to him.
Yep.
Which is definitely important to do when the skill levels are this close, this high level, and when you don't really. It's I mean, obviously anything can happen, but you'd hate to be the runner behind by some significant amount, like 30 seconds. Say, oh, Cheese!
Whoa.
falls down on wall kicks will work. Gonna have to do the, you know, pretty like standard backup strat once you fall down, but definitely losing a few seconds there. And Punkay, again, picking it up, taking what he's given, capitalizing.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were exactly 10 seconds apart entering Cool Mountain, but that mistake from Cheese is gonna cost about 3 or 4. Punkay just being very solid here, and Cheese actually slipping up a little bit more. You know, maybe sliding a bit too much on the snowy hilltop there, while Punkay gonna be saving this penguin with no issue. And this is just kind of how Punkay plays the game. You know, he's gonna bite on every opportunity Cheese gives him, at least until he makes mistakes of his own, but he doesn't make that many. So Cheese off to a good start still, but showing a few cracks in the waning sections of lobby.
Absolutely, and I mean, just in terms of overall player style, to appropriate a chess term, Punkay is definitely, in races at least, a grinder. He avoids making massive blunders as much as possible, and then just capitalizes incredibly quickly on all of his opponent's very minor mistakes. He knows that the minor mistakes that he makes are going to be much less frequent, and therefore if he can avoid those big blunders, he'll be able to grind back a lead from wherever he is.
And I really like that. Right, you know, I used to play a bit of chess, and it's definitely a mental battle as well. And you can see these two philosophies even clashing in yet another 70-star race.
Absolutely, I mean,
not
both
report.
the slide, you know,
you're on the slide,
relatively uneventful. Both of them getting enough coins, getting the proper amount. Actually, missing enough coins, as it were. Yeah, you can see how closely synced they are. I mean, given the size of the lead, before they entered CCM, I mean, like you said, about 10 seconds. Now it's about, looks like 5 seconds, if that. 13:21
could definitely made up some time.
Yeah, 13:21 fade out to about a 13:26. Both heading to BBH. You know, quick level in 70-star, but definitely an opportunity for some more damaging mistakes, but not exactly common, I'd say, for either of these guys. This Cheese doesn't get the
BBH
clip, but
yeah, we'll see.
Okay, does get the clip.
Alright, now this final hit, or this boo battle, gonna be going for some long jumps on the second kill. And it's a smaller optimization, but definitely something that both these runners are gonna be doing, no question about it. Cheese and Punkay both getting that hit pretty smoothly, but you know, there is a chance of either failing the long jump kill or, in the worst case scenario, falling off the balcony. But at this level, BBH is just an aside to the rest of the race, especially SSL, which is coming up right after this star.
Oh yeah, definitely a bit of an intermission compared to SSL.
Definitely. So now we've got Cheese and Punkay, you know, as it ever was. Cheese with a very small lead right now, but that can all change. We might as well be synced to the frame for
absolutely
all SSL cares about either of these two runners and their hopes and dreams.
And we'll see what strats both of them are actually going to go for. What pillarless strat? Because as you said, I mean, Punkay definitely someone to adapt, and given the way his Tama Plus practice was going, maybe he's feeling more confident in his traditional pillarless. And Cheese also, with a wacky bonk on the door. But I mean, that bonk seems insignificant, but it's actually a pretty large chunk of the lead he had. And Punkay taking a little more back with punch grab.
Nice to see from Punkay, saving about a second over Cheese. Both of them, you know, while they are on the English version, MIPS is going to be pretty slow, which you'd think makes the punch grab easier, but in some cases may make it harder when Cheese went for the dive. But here comes Plus. Big bomb is important. He's got it.
He's going for Tama Plus.
Cheese. First you've ever seen from the man, and he's got it up in the pyramid and clipping straight in there. Punkay's bomb is going to blow up, holding a directional input too soon. You gotta wait till you're on the pyramid face for that one. She's almost falling off of the shifting sand chute, and just Oh my god! Thing his lucky stars, but Punkay taking about a 5-second time loss, and now he's got to decide.
Is it
first
worth
of all, he's got to get this one.
doubling down?
Yeah, let's see if he can get Tama Plus here. Alright,
Looks
that's a
good, but the
angle.
last one looked good. Okay, solid this time.
Yeah, he just didn't mess up getting onto the pyramid, so. Okay, now
Jeez,
this is
blows up.
interesting.
Blows up the bomb on the second Power Plus attempt. Gonna have to go for a backup.
This is huge. Now Punkay's mistake is canceled out. And now we gotta see. Punkay got shining atop the pyramid, which means he might not try to go for the second one. Okay, but here he is. He is going for it.
Gets the big bomb. Going for regular pillarless with the...
Oh, not doing the Tama Plus for the second one, so really wants to keep the route consistent with Cheese's, but actually not gonna risk.
Oh, Cheese blowing up the bomb again!
Tama Plus.
Gonna be taking a much pricier backup here.
Well, this is actually about the same speed, but if you miss the bird, it is much worse. So.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Cheese! Oh god. Okay.
I thought my
Okay. You can stop playing with my heart, Cheese. It's enough for one man, but.
And just like that, Punkay with a pretty eventful SSL thus far. Punkay in a slight lead.
Yeah, it hasn't been Tama Plus that Cheese has been failing. It's just these bomb grabs. It's just a 2-frame input to get this big bomb, and you know, while it's a lot of time, it's also not a lot of time at all.
Oh, and she's having some trouble getting into this pyramid. Looks like they're about exactly tied.
Wow. Cheese got it in the end. I am actually surprised Punkay is so close to Cheese, but that shows how much Tama Plus saved, because Cheese had to redo Plus twice. But Punkay actually doing the old Plus, or like the very safe one, lost about what the Talon's backup would be if Cheese did it optimally. So Cheese and Punkay pretty much tied right now, both starting off with Lethal Lava and red coins. This is not a stage that you can really relax in, although it's not one of the most dangerous in the run. Stuff like Lava Boost can still really trip you up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Lava Boost is, it feels like it either goes flawlessly or it results in a death, which is, for both of these players, it's obviously going to be much more likely that it goes well, but the threat of that death is, you know, definitely looming in both of their minds, I'd assume. I mean, I'm sure that they have, I'm sure their experience in races, as we see another beautiful sync, but I'm sure their experience in races is helping them sort of put it out of their mind until they have to do it, which is just take the emotions and the scare factor of doing such a crazy strat in a race out of the equation. But
yeah, they raced each other so many times at this point over the years that they kind of know how the other is going to play or how they must be feeling. So
here we see the Lava Boost. And Punkay dies! Punkay getting a costly death, gonna obviously respawn inside the volcano, but that is a very sizable time loss for him and cannot be a big...
He didn't even attempt the pro boost. He's attempting the safer long jump boost with this method here, be able to get it the second time. But if I had to guess, Punkay went for that as another safety measure to not risk dying to Lava Boost, but that's what happens. Sometimes a strat that if you let it rust up for a while, even if it's easier, it'll be less familiar to it than the harder one. She's making quick work of these bullies, so definitely back in the lead. You know, Punkay was pretty much tied at one point, even possibly a tiny bit ahead, but Cheese is back up to that 10-15 second lead he was in after Dark World.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Luckily,
Punkay hitting...
it's not a costly death.
No, like I said, respawning in the pyramid inside the volcano is makes those deaths sting significantly less, but
yeah,
they still sting. And we're gonna see. Okay, Cheese again going for the same boost as Punkay. Hits it first try though, so gonna capitalize on that full time save. Taking full advantage.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how Cheese is playing. Really, his A game is shining through right now. Where talking about Punkay not making mistakes, Cheese, what's he done? He's kind of messed up wall kicks will work,
and then he's messed up two bomb grabs in plus.
Yeah,
and that's essentially it.
So still a really solid pace. And Punkay has plenty of time to make, like, he has plenty of opportunities to make up time. Obviously, Fire Sea is one of the big ones coming up now, one of the stages to keep an eye out for. But right now, Cheese is probably going to stay ahead through Dry Docks. Wow.
Small bully not cooperating, costing a second or two. Cheese with a bonk in castle movement.
That's actually kind of a difficult piece of castle movement to do just because of the camera angle.
Yeah, and cutting it. Obviously, someone like Cheese cutting it as close as he can, so. Alright, both of them are going to be entering DDD. Now that they're up to that crispy 30-star door. Punkay behind essentially an entire castle movement and 30-star door and entry into DDD.
Yeah, that's about 15 seconds. I would say maybe a little bit more. But Cheese also maybe not the most perfect chess, although they seem pretty good. This last turn is pretty much the most impactful, and that one's really clean.
Just grazing the chest gently.
Exactly. Just such a smooth turn. Okay, very nice movement around the whirlpool here. Chess is not a very hard star, but it is very easy to lose time to, and if you try to do it too fast, you risk missing one, which is way worse
than losing a slight few frames to cut it a little closer to the chest.
Yeah.
But yeah, swimming definitely deceptively risky because it feels like a slow-paced, low-risk part of the run. Very hard to die, but you know, missing swims is costlier than it might seem. Each missed swim, you lose all that speed. You have to build back up.
It's like a land bomb.
Yeah. And it's just oh jeez. Yeah. Gets it.
There he goes. He's up there. I'm going to be going for it too.
Absolutely flawless front sub. Gonna just be. It really feels like you know, bearing down on Punkay here, giving him could have opted for a slightly safer strat, but giving Punkay a window. Punkay hits it too, but immediately loses time, missing the star, eating some lag. If I'm not mistaken, that cost almost as much as a front sub would save over a back sub.
Yeah, I think pretty much that time save disappeared for Punkay.
Yeah.
But at least he didn't miss it and fall down.
Yeah, I mean, falling back into the water, obviously, much more significant time save. And Cheese entering Fire Sea. Let's see if he can hit. Obviously, going to be going for Lava Boost early Ellies. Both of these guys are. Looking good so far.
And the lead is about a whole cycle. So he can still make it with that very minor mistake, Lava Boost. But that might be a little bit more problematic for Cheese.
Losing some speed.
He's got to really hurry up now. Can probably make it just barely with a perfect side flip, and that's what he needed. That was really good. He might be able to get it barely still. We'll have to see. Does he want to turn the camera and see? I think he's got it. Yeah, barely. He's going to have like a full run onto the platform here, considering his momentum actually, which is slightly more optimal than if you did it when the thing was slightly lower. But so close to failing Lava Boost. But Cheese actually managing to get it done and still get the good ending. He's learned the rollout over the 7th red, which is a really weird thing to do in the way Cheese did it. Usually you want to do a jump.
Punkay gonna have to. Punkay going for looked like maybe that bully tricked him up, or maybe he had lost some
a little bit late.
Slight movement earlier, but still getting early Ellies, but no Lava Boost, gonna cost him a little time. And not making it easy for himself in this grabbing that red. Eats a burn for it. So definitely Cheese's throw had me a little scared, but obviously still gonna connect. I've had some when you just barely dribble Bowser with the throw there, he misses the bomb so much more, with so much less lenience in terms of angles, because it's just he like goes under it, whereas he might like connect with it.
I think actually the Fire Sea bomb is a little bit farther away from the stage than other stages, although don't quote me on that. I think it is actually a little bit harder to hit.
Still, I would say the easiest of the Bowser fights, but if you're gonna miss a throw, considering how much, definitely the slowest. I mean, one of the
it's definitely the most punishing.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to eat the entire animation of Bowser jumping up, swinging the stage up and down. it's a whole cutscene. And Cheese chugging away in Wet Dry World. Gonna be going for the no side flip triple jump wall kick. Nails it.
Coming up, the elevator, nice wall kick angle, and that's gonna go right in the start for Cheese. So really solid. You know, Punkay is looking at almost a 30-second deficit now, which is not where you want to be, even though there's half the run left to go. Fire C did not go in his favor. Cheese ended up making nearly 10 seconds up over Punkay. But Punkay also going to opt out of the side flip for triple jump wall kick. Very risky, but absolutely making it look easy, because that is not. That's like the hardest triple jump wall kick in the game, probably. Maybe not the hardest, but it's crazy. And
oh, definitely.
both of them getting these stars done. So exactly 1 star behind is the Pancake himself. Gotta get top of the town. While Cheese has got 100 coin and shocking arrow lifts. And looks like he's going for 100 coin. Punkay's probably gonna go out for the double box kick. I don't know why Cheese doesn't do it.
Yeah, it was
a little bit of possible time save. Nice coin RNG.
Yeah, definitely cooperating. Let's see. Yeah,
Nice.
Scuttlebug
Meter
right,
also.
also cooperating. Although 1 coin runs away, but nothing to worry about yet. Grabs all those coins.
Yeah, this is a good start for Cheese. You can lose a lot of time there. He must have barely got that secret because he didn't put that box in far at all. Okay, also getting the 3 standalone stars out of the way before attempting the 100 coin. You know, usually that star is the one you
Cheese
save for
with
last because of how easy it is.
A little bit of a bonk in his movement, but nothing major. Recovered immediately. Whoa, that grabbed that stray coin and definitely needed it. Gonna need all the coins from the Chuckya here. Alright, they play nice.
Yeah. The universe smiles upon Cheese. This what I rolled 100.
Punkay
Not gonna screw him
also.
over with any bad RNG.
Let's see if Punkay's Scuttlebug is as nice. It looks even more nice. He gets all the coins. Got a little bit of safety on top of when compared to what Cheese had to deal with.
Yeah, Punkay definitely can save a little bit of time, although not much. Cheese what I rolled was just a bit rough around the edges.
And
Wow,
there it
unlucky
goes.
him.
Yeah, definitely unlucky. Gonna lose a coin, but that's thanks to that safety. He doesn't no stress yet. But now this box and the Chuckya throw are a little bit dicey. All right, box out of the way, but I've seen this Chuckya. Oh, a little bit of a bonk, but I've seen this Chuckya coin really not okay. One of them. Oh, another amp. Oh, it looked like he was gonna get a third.
Just unlucky from Punkay. Not much you can really do about that one. No, Cheese is already in THI going for secrets. Let's see if we can get this triple jump dive with the lag reduction. Very smooth
So clean.
from
Gets
the
the
man.
clip.
That was perfect.
Smooth lag reduction and everything. Just THI Secret's one of those stars that really looks the most, to my eye, like parkour in the run. Just so very fast. Looks like you're jumping on a bunch of things you're not supposed to be jumping on. Very
Yeah, it's
crispy when executed well.
we'll
Especially
see if Punkay can match Cheese. Not going for the lag reduction. But can still get a good ending here with a clip, and he will. Cheese also going for this Konka for top of the mountain, top of the huge island rather.
Very clean, no falling in the water.
So beautiful THI so far from Cheese. He actually has lost some runs up here recently. Definitely showing that he comes back from his mistakes even stronger than before. And Punkay looking a little bit mortal. He's got an okay run going still, not to discount it, but Cheese has just been playing great.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of pace we're looking at with these guys, but definitely. Oh, Punkay having to swim for a second, but definitely solid pace so far for both of these guys. Punkay gonna be hoping to, push his consistency all the way through Tippy and just sort of capitalize on anything Cheese gives him, as he's been doing, you know, the entire run, which is sort of the, you know, as you said, the player style differences showing a little bit. Cheese builds his leads by, you know, just going for really fast strats and executing cleanly, and Punkay tries to play, you know, some more of a slow. He's gonna outlast you. Oh, Cheese with a massive bonk.
Well, that walk another one. Cheese taking another fall. This is what we're talking about. Punkay just needs an opening, and Cheese giving him one in a very unlikely situation. I didn't even have a chance to talk up TTM and all the hazards it brings, but luckily Cheese didn't fall down somewhere that would have killed him. But man, beginning cost him quite a few seconds, and missing the 8th red coin. He's got to turn around and go all the way back up the maze. Punkay is saving so much time here potentially. I mean, it's not a done deal, but man,
Punkay going for breezeless in the meantime, misses it.
Wow.
Absolutely brutal reds for Cheese, and Punkay missing breezeless. Sure, he's not happy about that, but he's got a present waiting for him in reds, so we'll see if he can claim it.
Yeah, and there's only more where that came from for Cheese. Tall Mountain will not give you any breaks. Coming up for Breezes now. Let's see if he can hit that one.
He does.
Wow.
Claims a little time over Punkay.
Absolutely disgusting. Saving a few seconds for sure. Punkay missed Breezes, probably loses you. Not quite 10, but somewhere close to that. If you had gone Breezes perfectly. So just
Next
these mountain clip stars and the blocks. So you know these can go up to firsty, and this one from Cheese. He's gonna go for this box
brutal.
Now. Will that angle work? I think it does. Okay. That makes me very nervous because usually people line it up so you bounce against the back wall to do it that way.
That first he looked so. I was gonna prepare. I was taking a breath to compliment Cheese on that firsty to avoid the ledge grab. And then that invisible just shut him down, spiking him back down to the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, you know, you start popping off and TTM just pulls you back down to earth. You know, not so fast, Sonny. You ain't getting nowhere. But Cheese is still struggling.
Missing the first side flip dive. Punkay, that angle made me a little comfortable, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think he is definitely going to be saving some time here. See, actually the same star count.
Yeah.
Although I believe Punkay still has a longer star. He has reds to do, and Cheese has Scale the Mountain.
Let's see how Punkay's reds go. I mean, here's really the crux of where he can pull. Oh!
Oh my God!
An absolutely brutal death. That completely outdoes all the time he would have saved.
It was looking to be back to square one, Punkay and Cheese less than 10 seconds apart, but Punkay taking a death in one of the weirdest ways I've seen, honestly, because usually you want to long jump off of those mushrooms, and Punkay just taking a jump and dive. Sometimes you want to go for that spicy roll off of the last shroom, but Punkay's falling even more behind now, where Cheese has just got to take care of Snowman's head, and then the rest of the stage is pretty free, and HMC not going to be giving many openings to Punkay either, so it's going to come down to Tippy.
It feels like I say that in every 70-star race. This is really going to come down to Tippy. But Tippy, of course,
definitely does.
Looming in the distance in on any good pace run, any race with a big lead, just waiting for its. Honestly, it's just it just comes down to how costly the mistakes are in Tippy. Because the same mistake in your movement, you know, dust frames, losing a tiny bit of speed, the same, you know, small precise mistake that might cost a second or two, or cost a ledge grab skip in another stage, can lead to a death in either, you know, TTC or Rainbow Ride, just instantaneously.
Yeah. That's why, you know, this game is so demanding. But so exciting to watch as well. Cheese and Punkay.
It's a bonk on the Starbucks.
Yeah, Punkay's looking looking more, but Cheese actually surprisingly looking to be at the top of his game. Definitely on 48 pace still. You know, not a perfect ending to that star as I say that, but at the same time, despite TTM, he's had a pretty standout run. And Punkay still got some catching up to do. It can be done. 2 stars behind, 1 star now, but a little bit of change there considering Cheese is going to be going down to HMC and taking care of a bunch of quick ones. You got like 6 stars in about 3 minutes for Hazy Maze Cave, including the second MIPS and a Toad Star. So we'll really see how close they are. You know, maybe when Cheese catches MIPS, like 36-46, maybe close to a 30-second lead or more for Cheese. Actually, no, definitely more than 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Maybe like
has to
45.
do the full re-entry, stage exit, movement down to basement, and then you know, catching MIPS. Definitely a sizable deficit, but nothing that nothing, like we said, that Tippy can't fix. Gonna be, as you said, gonna be surprised if HMC causes any major issues here. Looks like about a, had you said 36-46 MIPS grabbing time. It looks like about to be about a 40-second lead or more, if I'm remembering that MIPS time correctly. But definitely very sizable.
Yeah, Cheese took care of box jump, no problem. And Punkay just about to enter HMC for the first time. So with the way things are looking, it's either going to take one massive mistake or more than one, like,
Regular
large but not actually catastrophic mistake, such as, like, I mean, there's so many mistakes I'll be here all day, but
yeah.
But in terms of catastrophic, I'm talking about like dying at the end of Lac 2 bounce or halfway through TDC 100. You know, missing like 2 triple jump wall kicks in Sky. So there's a lot to go wrong still, and especially TDC 100 has been a decider when these players have faced off in recent memory at least. TDC 100 has been the killer.
TTC 100 in some ways feels like more of a final boss than Bowser in the Sky.
Cheese actually hates Bowser in the Sky no reds with a passion. It's like the hardest thing in the game for him. So it's not over until he actually hits that 3rd throw.
Yeah, no reason to feel comfortable, but Punkay gonna have to make something happen. Gonna have to. I mean, actually, that's maybe not even the right words. He can't make anything happen here. He's sort of just at the mercy. Oh, with a bonk. At the mercy of Cheese here. He's just gotta try to keep anything wrong from happening in his run, and then just, you know, sort of see where he lands. Which is definitely the more than just obviously being behind. That's definitely the mental disadvantage of being behind, is just knowing that you're coming up on your hardest stars just like they are, but you've got to hit them, otherwise you have no shot.
Yeah, you know, to use a chess phrase again, Cheese has the tempo. He dictates how the run's gonna end.
Absolutely. Punkay could just hope to play his position that he's in perfectly. All right,
Cheese entering the second to last main stage of the game. 4 stars here, starting off with none other than the Infamous Lac 2 bounce, and Cheese is going to go for a fairly unique strat here with the left side wall kick. That bounce always looks sketchy, but he manages to get it most of the time, and this time is no exception. Also a nice glitchy double jump over the gap here, and a couple wall kicks is going to get him up to that star, and a nice ground power is going to put the cherry on top of an absolutely beautiful cruiser crossing the rainbow.
Punkay now joining Cheese and Tippy. Entering about looks to be about exactly a just over 40-second deficit.
We gotta see if he does glitchy wall kick here. No glitchy wall kick. So Punkay had a, you know, not going all in. He's not gonna hinge the fate of his run on a pixel perfect glitchy wall kick. So
Definitely
still
taking
relying on Cheese to make a mistake.
yeah, absolutely, definitely no stranger to winning the consistency battle in these the later parts of these runs. And I'm sure he knows that that's his strategically, at least for him, his likely best chance at taking this race. As Cheese misses a red, gonna have to climb back up the maze. Solid backup. Nothing major, but a few seconds here, a few seconds there can make it so that a major mistake won't just make them even. It could give Punkay the lead if Cheese keeps throwing small bits of time Punkay's way.
Also makes me wonder if Punkay is going to go for the advanced swing into the breeze strat, which uses a very similar wall kick to tricky triangles at the beginning, but actually goes up at the start. Cheese is going to go for the tried and true method, and Punkay is going for it now and getting the ledge grab. This can save not even a second, but it would be very useful, and actually taking a burn, and that's going to actually make Cheese's start a little bit more efficient. Maybe about a second more in his pocket. So the risk almost paid off for Punkay, but not quite.
Yeah, even when he is going, sort of.
Jeez, that's gonna time slow. He's gonna have to do like roll into the cage or something. This is huge, actually. He can't do a triple jump wall kick, which is not only gonna lose time, but it's gonna mess with his flow over the stage. And he's got to get around here while the platforms are moving. These long jumps can be a bit sketchy when you're not used to the time being like this. Cheese actually backed up a lot better than most people would in that scenario, but just a quick little mental slip up, entering the clock a little bit late, and now he's kind of he's kind of lost his sure footing. He's got to figure out what to do. He's gonna look to go for more time moving stars to get these out of the way.
Yeah, and that just, screws with the entire... Oh, yeah. Just not looking... losing a little bit of the confidence that he might otherwise have, which is what Punkay's, lying in wait for.
Punkay actually got toed first, so that's a faster star that Cheese going to get at the end of TDC. But this is his 100 coin, and this is do or die.
Yeah, all eyes on Punkay right now, seeing if he can get a crisp 100 coin and maybe at least give himself a chance to open this race up and make it anyone's game. As Cheese cleans up
off to a good start.
Hand. Looking really solid so far for Punkay, but TTC 100
nice
definitely, definitely a star that can go all wrong all at once.
Alright, coming up on some of the hardest parts, actually going for the 2 single jumps. Alright, now want to avoid this invisible and get a good ending. Actually not even going to get a good jump down. Punkay, Pancake looking a little bit syrupy, a little bit sticky, not super smooth and buttery.
I like that. Alright, solid, gets a ledge grab, okay, but I'm sure he's happy it's over with, nothing major. Still, gave himself a window where if anything major goes wrong for Cheese right now, could be in a good position, but Cheese looking very confident, going for slightly safer, more consistent, not trying to deal with those 2 single jumps that cost Punkay a little bit of time. Gets all the coins,
and
so
there's the ending.
Looking great.
Ooh,
Punkay with a ground pound. Gonna mess up his time for the pendulum. His timing for the cycle of the pendulum.
Yeah, that was one opportunity to save a few seconds.
Oh!
And Cheese failing his wall kicks, that's actually fairly costly because he had taken so much time to get up there. And what a backup from Cheese on the second hand recovery. Wow,
absolutely.
Just the swamp with 200 IQ precision.
I was worried that he had made a mistake by starting to wall kick at angles like that. Not like directly perpendicular to, to the wall, but he clearly knew what he was doing. Backed it up as solidly as you could really hope in that position.
Both these runners not perfect, but still overcoming the hurdle of TikTok Clock 100 coin.
And we're nearing closer and closer to the end of this stage, to where the only thing
and Punkay gonna have to go for moving reds now. He's done it in the past. Can he do it again? This is some precise timing here, but if you fail it, you're not gonna be happy. You might have to die or have to go around the long way. But Punkay's got it. He's got it down. He's killing it. Sick moving reds. Absolutely as good as you could hope for in that situation.
Yeah, once again, clean backup, you know. Showing definitely both of... Ooh! I had a really...
Jeez, that could have killed him.
Yeah.
That could have killed him. These,
definitely a bit of a scare.
Green thingies are really annoying just as surfaces. They're like the most broken and scuffed surfaces out of anything in the game almost.
They do not like to cooperate. And so, though it may seem, you know, star count's tied, remember, Cheese just has to get towed, so Cheese is out of TikTok clock. Punkay still has to re-enter. Definitely, having to wait for these hands, yeah. Cheese is going to be heading...
You know,
heading up to his least favorite stage.
But if both... Here's the thing, you can die even at the very end of Sky. You can die at the triple jump dive, triple jump wall kick, the elevators,
Absolutely.
even at the very end with the Goomba. So
even
if
falling
both runners
down
are in Sky at the same time, the run is still up for grabs. And Punkay is going to be in bits before Cheese leaves. And Cheese has been practicing triple jump wall kick. It's going to be interesting to see which one he goes for. Moving
Gets the triple
right
jump
side
dive.
or moving left to start off. And then if he fails it, is he going to go for the pull or try like a standing left side? So this is huge from Cheese. A mental battle and an attempt to overcome, in many ways, his nemesis. But the Titan of the league so far, moving right side's not good. He's going to turn around. And Punkay's in bits. Like we said, it's
going for moving left side.
Angle, moving left side set up.
Oh!
Wow, grabbing the
he grabs the moving platform.
Block. And now Cheese still very new to this angled left side setup. This is what I'm talking about, trying to practice this in the last couple days. It didn't pay off for him, but he's still up there. That Goomba is pretty far away, so Cheese should be able to avoid it. Punkay moving left side, and Cheese is going to be entering the pipe.
Oh, not quite yet.
Or as I say that,
wasting a not trivial amount of time there.
Yeah, not trivial at all. He can miss one throw, but that's it.
Punkay immediately following it up, losing a similarly non-trivial amount of time with the elevator cycles. Cheese nailing his first throw.
Two more to go to get Punkay's first.
Oh, that's what.
Second one's wide.
That's a miss.
And Punkay is also in throws. Now it's coming down to the two legends in a battle against Bowser. Cheese needs two throws. Punkay needs three.
No, Cheese missed another throw.
He's gonna throw right off the edge. Punkay can have the win here if he can hold it together.
Punkay missed the throw.
Second throw's gonna miss though. Cheese has that opportunity to dodge these rings of like stat of shockwaves.
Cheese
and
hits the second
in the land. And down to the last one. Cheese can do it, and he's gonna do it.
Cheese takes it.
Puncayshun. The first defeat for Punkay in the league, and it's at the hands of the one and only Cheese.
Punkay misses another throw.
A low 49. Punkay still a mid 49. Very few people are gonna beat that in a run, but Cheese today he showed up and he showed he was worthy of the task and has dethroned the invincible Punkay.
Really, really unbelievable ending there. I can't. Punkay had it in his hands after Cheese offered it up to him. And,
both runners just in a bit of disbelief.
Yeah.
Discord. Commentator.
Wow.
Disbelief in the booth.
As crazy of an ending as you could have hoped for, given that immense lead that Cheese was rocking, you know, even all the way through Tippy. Whew. What a run. What a race.
Let's see if you want to get these boys in for a post-race interview, because
can't imagine what
let them go with that.
Yeah, can only imagine what they're gonna have to say about that, especially as they become more aware of what actually happened.
Welcome, Cheese, to the call. You came out on top this time, but you had a lot of ups and downs, and it was down to Bowser throws in the end. But first, let's go back one step and talk about Sky. You've been practicing triple jump wall kick a lot. How was your thought process going up there?
I didn't have a thought process, dude. I just didn't care. I just like, I'm just gonna go for it. If I miss it, I'll do the backup. That's all I'm thinking about. So
I mean-
when I missed it the first time, I was like, just please do the backup. Please do it. And then I missed it again, and I'm like, and that's when I started freaking out. I was like, okay, all right, well, this is it.
And you grabbed the moving platform.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one, but I'm so stressed out right now. I can't explain how stressed out I am. Like, I swear to God, you know that feeling of heartburn that you get when your chest starts burning if you eat something like really bad or something?
Yeah.
That's what I got during Bowser Throws.
Oh man.
Like, I was just like, I couldn't play. I was so like panicking. I couldn't believe I won because I thought Punkay would have passed me at that point, but then Punkay luckily had.
Dude, I entered the pipe and I don't know why, but I was just like really nervous and I choked really hard.
Dude, me too. Like, I literally couldn't control my hands on the second throw. I was just...
that Bowser fight that I did, that's like honestly so unlike me because I think most people are aware, but I'm like really consistent at the throws and I missed like 2 and I don't know, I was having a meltdown there. I don't know what happened.
It was absolutely bonkers, the both of you in the fight. It was the leader was changing back and forth, miss throw. Once
Wait, how many throws did Cheese miss?
2,
Like
I
2.
believe. Yeah.
2.
Wait, so what was like the time difference when we entered the pipe roughly?
He was about 20 seconds ahead, so he could have missed 1 throw, but not 2. And he ended up winning by about 15. So you both missed 2 in that case.
I was 20 seconds ahead going into pipe.
No, you were 20
No,
seconds
you were behind 20 seconds.
Oh. So like basically if I had just got all throws I would have clutched to win. That would have been nutty.
Yeah.
I did that on like triple bingo.
It was.
Does that expands?
What?
Never mind.
I guess I want to talk about some parts of my run, just like
Yeah, please.
well, for TTM Reds, that was unbelievable because what happened is I did a jump dive and I like somehow couldn't remember my muscle memory. It just like malfunctioned there because every time I lawn jump there, and for some reason this one time I was just like, oh, I'm gonna do a jump dive, and then I ended up dying. That's why that happened. It was like after I grabbed the last red on the mushroom in TTM Reds, like the 4th red, I think.
Yeah, and then I've done that before too.
Yeah, I do like a long jump to the right, and for some reason I just randomly did a jump dive and I died because of it.
I lost like I don't know, like almost 20 seconds on TTM Reds as well.
So we probably lost around the same amount of time.
Yeah, Cheese, you missed the last red, correct? Like fell down to the mushroom and had to climb all the way back up for it.
Yeah, I also fell down in the beginning because I keep doing that all the time.
Oh yeah, you fell down and then bonked on the backup trying to get back up.
Yeah, I always do that in practice.
Also, when I was doing lava boost, I knew my angle was atrocious, and I for a split second I was like, all right, this isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna do elevator tour, but then I just decided to go for it, and I paid the price for that. Like I shouldn't have even tried. My angle was terrible, and I guess people are kind of confused about what happened that one time at SSL where I got like Tomoplus and I just didn't jump. That was there was another part where my muscle memory was just like, what I do, and then I just kind of like froze up and didn't do anything, so the bomb just blew up in my face.
Yeah, that
Like,
was very surprising. We were both me and Badronis were like successful Tomoplus.
yeah,
And, had to immediately eat our words.
I had multiple like muscle memory malfunctions in this race, and I know that after the SSL thing happened, Artemis typed in chat. He was like, "Wow." I think that's what he was like referring to. I don't really know what else to say. Like I was nervous. My gameplay for like a lot of parts was like really shaky. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Mid 49 is honestly like a really really bad race time for me.
Yeah,
Like
it's crazy to think that
Yeah.
your average is like a mid 48.
This is
So-
like my worst GSA time. I think it was like a 50 something against Vyro. This might be my second worst time, maybe.
I don't want to confirm, but I think it is. You had a 50-31 versus Vyro. That was like the first week of the league, I think.
Well, that's the worst. I know that. I'm just wondering what my second worst is, but I guess it's not really important.
Yeah, I
GG's
don't
to
know.
cheese.
This could be it. It might be.
I got so nervous when I raced cheese because I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching the gameplay at all because I think that helps me. But
Yeah.
I think after
you
my
saw
TTM death, I don't even look at chat. I think after my TTM death, I was like, I don't know, man. This might be kind of GG because
It was actually pretty like blow for blow, like prior to the prior to you not claiming that like save over cheese and TTM Reds. There was like cheese would build a small lead, and then in something like wall kicks will work, lost a big chunk of it, and you claimed it immediately. And there was a lot of things happening like that, and then there was that one save that you didn't claim sort of built the lead that enabled cheese to still have enough room to clutch it out at the end.
Yeah, my malfunctions, I guess you could say, like Funky did. It was more of just nerves. So it was sometimes I'd be nervous to a point where I would like fumble on the buttons with my fingers, and I might press a button too early or something weird like that, and it's just because of nerves. And
You get that jittery energy in the hands.
that's
how much did I lost like what, close to 10 seconds on bonking and castle movement.
there
was
were
fun.
a couple of them, yeah.
That was
kind
fun.
of funny. That
Yeah.
might be what happened to me. Like it was just nerves. Like I don't know. I just raced cheese and I was like, I'm nervous because this guy can get like a mid 48 or something. If cheese plays on point, he's really scary. So I think that's why I get so nervous.
Yeah, and on the flip side of cheese, it's good to see you back to your old self. You know, actually being able to put up some sick races for us all to enjoy. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. I actually did the same. Like I usually look at the stream, but I had the stream pause the whole race. I would just pop in every few minutes to unpause to see where Punky was. And when I after the
thinking about
TTM
doing that.
after the TTM thing, and I saw I had a pretty good lead, I was like, I started breathing again like a human being. And then Sky was another meltdown.
I think we both had a meltdown. We like our movement was fine until we went into the pipe, then we couldn't play.
Yeah, it was gonna be a little closer entering the pipe, but I think you Punkay fumbled a little bit on the elevators at the end, which made it more than a single throw differential.
Yeah,
but then even then it was
odd.
still.
I don't really know what happened there. I just I saw the moving platforms and they were just in like a weird spot, and I just kind of went for something and didn't go out too well.
Yeah, definitely understandable, especially you're not arriving at the cycle that you normally would.
Well, honestly, do either of you guys have anything more you want to say about that insane race? Because that was one of the most exciting things I've ever been able to watch.
I guess one thing I can say that I actually thought of during the race was if it's like this stressful online at home, I cannot begin to imagine how it's going to be at pace, like live.
That was
a good point.
My segue, actually, because I was going to be like, hey, Chad, you thought this was insane. How'd you like to see them in the same room with everybody there live cheering?
It's going to be the scariest experience.
I mean, like, we've literally raced at GDQ like many times. It can't be that different.
I mean, when you're battling for a few $1,000s, it's kind of different.
That's
Yeah,
definitely
well,
true.
not only the league finals, and honestly, it's anyone's, like, it's not set in stone who's going to be in that final four, because our league structure is 8 teams or 8 players make the playoffs, and we have a massive, like, round of 8 elimination to get our top four. But we are guaranteed to see Punkay, Cheese, D whatever, and Siglemic race 120 star at pace. So I think that's going to be one of the coolest parts of the whole event. So nothing else. I hope you guys will be tuning in, but you can also come see it live and even meet everybody in person if that is your cup of tea. So exclamation point tickets if you want to do that, or exclamation point pace. I think they both link to the same thing. But honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to end the night of streaming. Thank you so much, JKJ, for the commentary. This was a blast. And
Had a
thank
great
you to our
time.
runners, Cheese and Punkay, putting on a legendary show here on twitch.tv/speedrun. And thank you to our restream Aurora and everyone else behind the scenes making this one possible. So this is GSA signing out for the night, and hope to see you guys on the next one.
Bye-bye.
So yeah.
Good night.